Okay, ladies and gentlemen, BDR44 here with another video. We got action. The Los Angeles Lakers have officially waived Mo Bamba. That's $10 million off the books. I didn't think that the Lakers were probably going to keep him unless they were certain they could trade him at that price, which I didn't think there was really a market for him at that price. What does him entering waivers necessarily mean as far as the Lakers possibly being able to get him after he clears waivers? I don't know that it works like that. I'm pretty certain we're not going to be able to get him, but I don't have that information in my mind at all. I'm just guessing. I don't think we can re-sign him after allowing him to wait. Now, we could have restructured that same contract, I believe, or have re-signed him to a different contract number, which is what I'm wondering if this is possible will happen. Waived him at 10, restructure for $3 million or something. I don't know. But one thing I do know is he is not expected to be brought in no $10 million anymore. That's over with. So what's more than likely to happen is that he's going for good, and the Lakers are likely going to waive Beasley as well. In fact, my boy Abdul just told us that Beasley was waived, but I didn't see that officially. But Bob Abdul is never wrong, so count on this. Bamba's out. The next logical thing is Beasley. I've heard Beasley's out too, and I expect that as well. So that is about as much as I could tell you in regards to that being the case. What does this mean? That means we got $26 million worth of cap space to spend on something. That's what that means. That means that Bruce Brown could get his $12 million. I mean, we can go out to somebody else too. Obviously, we want to re-sign the guys we have, and so that's where most of that money will likely end up really going. I think us getting Bruce Brown is a long shot, and the reason why is because I heard something about him signing a one-year deal with Denver and then being able to qualify for something significantly more. If he locks up for multiple years right now, he won't qualify for that. So that ends it right there for me. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, yeah, the likelihood of him going to the Lakers instead of returning to the champs for a one-year deal, so he could qualify for that, the likelihood he's going to opt out of that just doesn't make any sense. Now, the only reason why I would opt out of that is two reasons. One, I'm ready to move on from Denver for whatever reason, and I don't want to risk it having an injury year getting in the way of that. If I can lock up now for like 3-4 years, maybe it's in my best interest to just not take any chances. But given the fact that Bruce Brown literally just played like 80 games, he's one of the more durable players in the league, I don't think that risk means the same thing for him as it would mean for somebody like D'Angelo Russell or something like that, guys who have more injury history. So if I'm Bruce Brown, based on what it is I am aware of, I'm likely just going to resign with the Denver Nuggets for a year, defend my NBA championship, and then at the end of a good season, hopefully everything goes the way it's supposed to, I'll qualify for what it is I qualify for at the end of the year and get that big payday that ultimately would be due to him if he's a free agent at the end of this upcoming season. So, yeah, that's all I see there. I don't see no other reason to do anything else, unfortunately, for us Laker fans. I just don't see it, not based on what it is I'm aware of in regards to his risk. But that doesn't mean we can't get somebody else. I don't mean that we won't land a Kelly Oubre or something like that. You can land somebody. You could trade for somebody, but I think we're trying to hold out paper for the overpricing of Rui and Austin. I think that's probably what we want to hold the $26 million for until we know exactly what they're signed to. We don't want to have any chance of us not being able to keep our word and re-signing these guys. So I think that's ultimately what the Lakers are all about right now. So the Bamba situation, if I thought we were going to actually use Bamba properly, I might object to him going out, given the fact that we do need a center. But at $10 million, I can't justify that. I can't justify bringing it back at $10 million based on what I've seen. So that's the end of that. I have to find another center, and there are other centers we can go after. I think a guy like Jackson Hayes from the New Orleans Pelicans is a restricted free agent that they're probably not likely to keep. They're probably not likely to keep him. So I would probably try to sign him to an offer sheet that's reasonable to me and see if I can throw the dice at him. Goga Batazde is a center that I've liked for a long time. Blocked a couple shots. Not going to take no shots away from nobody, but still young enough to do something. He did some good things in Orlando and Indiana with the minutes given. I don't expect him to be crazy great, but along the lines of Wenyen Gabriel, I expect him to give me some Wenyen energy. And so that's okay. Somebody who can help weak side block for AD. That's what Batazde's game is. You know, that's an option. There are others as well. Obviously, Brook Lopez is the big name, but he's so old, bro. That's the only thing. as I was listening to myself say that I feel comfortable bringing a 36-year-old in, I'm not. I'm comfortable in thinking that he can potentially have a really good season, but I'm also understanding I'm doubling down on 30-year-olds, 36-year-olds, you know, guys that era. With him and LeBron being that age, that's a little too much veteran for my liking. You know, I only need one guy on the other side of 35. So that's what keeps me from wanting to bring in Brook Lopez, even though he's proven just as early as last season to have had a career year at 35 years of age, which is yet another anomaly. That dude is one of the wonders of the NBA, if you ask me. How he turned himself into a three-point shooter, how he doesn't rebound the ball very well, even though he's taller than everybody and bigger than everybody else, and is a good defender. It's just a very, very unique player that I just think you might see unprecedented stuff from going forward. He may play till he's 45. He might. And so, and his game is predicated on him being stationary and shooting a set three-point shot that seems to never miss. So you always want a player like that in this modern era. And given the fact that he played so well with Giannis, you'd have to imagine they're going to try to bring him back unless they plan on trading for somebody else. As to which I don't know, excuse me, that they'll find a better piece. If you're the Bucks, or you're trading for Ayton, I doubt it. So that's kind of how I see that. I just ultimately think he'll end up back with the Bucks. But Draymond Green going back to Golden State, I already talked about that. So the center position is looking a little strange to me in regards to the LA Lakers right now. But I also am worried about us signing somebody that coach ain't going to play. Jakob Poeltl would be a name that you would want if you're going to go all in with all the money. That's probably the best name up there, not named Draymond. But I don't see us investing that heavily in our center position. I don't think it's that serious, to be honest. It is serious, but not as to give nobody $24 million at the center position. I don't know. I'd rather us try to get Bruce Brown and spend the rest of that money on that center. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that. Because at the end of the day, you may not use him. I go out there and get myself an 8 and then find out this coach don't want to use a guy. Nah, I can't trade him for nothing. It's like, nah. Let's continue to bring Darvin stuff we know he's going to use and just make sure you have enough bigs on the team for the reasons necessary, you know, obviously, but not to overly invest in a position like it's like we're inquiring Joel Embiid or Jokic or something. Nah, the center position is one of two things right now. Either it's underdeveloped and young with some upside, or it's the MVP and that level. There's nothing else really. Everything else at the center position either doesn't exist or probably shouldn't be paid for right now. Just being honest. And so that's kind of what it is. If you're not on one of them two levels, Jalen Duren, Sengun, you know what I'm saying, coming along to whatever degree when you're really young, lively. After that, we start looking at guys who are really, really great. It starts becoming okay. Who are the centers? And you start talking about guys who are really dope. So, you know, maybe you're talking about Jared Allen, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't too many of them out there. So you got to make sure you either have them or live without them. And in this era, you need size, but also in this era, you also need spacing. And you don't want to overpay for players that can't space the floor. And that is why it's going to get real tricky for these teams trying to build with these bigs. We've already seen this movie before. When you don't necessarily have bigs and you need them, sometimes you overpay for the wrong runs and you get up tanking your franchise. So I was raised in that era, and what I'm recognizing is that teams are trying to do that now. You know, you see teams going after multiple bigs. You see Dallas still trying to go after another big after picking up basically 3 of them. You know, it's going to be the era where bigs are going to get more money than you expect to see them get. If not this season, then definitely next. So, a guy like Bamba will make up his money. He just needs to sign a 1-year deal with somebody and be that center for them. And show that he has some real energy about himself, can stay healthy. Because he's going to be right on time 2 years from now, a year from now, when Wembanyama was really rounding into form and people need 7-footers with long arms. They're going to need Bamba, so it's not even a worry for me if he's going to hang around the league or not. He's definitely going to hang around the league so long as Wembanyamas and Holmgrens are running around. Yes, you're going to bowl. You're going to need them. You're going to need these guys. So hopefully the Lakers have that in mind. If not for this upcoming season, then having plans to acquire a Evan Mobley or add to Anthony Davis rather than subtract him from the team. You cannot survive without Anthony Davis. This is why all of this is not so pressing, because we actually have Anthony Davis. If we didn't have Anthony Davis or we were about to trade him, I would tell us not to. Don't trade him for Dame. Don't trade him for Jaylen Brown. Don't trade him for any damn return that ain't going to be big because of the era you're in with this Wembanyama guy coming in. So, yeah, that is that, man. Chet Holmgren is just as serious. I cannot stress this enough. If he comes back well from that injury, he's going to be just as much of a problem. He's going to be just as difficult to guard. I don't think people really see that coming. Oh, Chet Holmgren, yeah, he got hurt. Chet Holmgren is like 7'2", and he plays like a shooting guard, just like Wembanyama. And so, for me, I am concerned about going up against those teams, because I know that even though those guys can be pushed around a lot, at the end of the day, it is hard as all hell to score over them. Hard as all hell. And that is the problem. OKC, unlike the San Antonio Spurs, OKC got all kinds of talent around the dude. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if OKC is a contender this season. In fact, you should probably expect it. So yeah, man, that's what I'm telling people. That is the word there. But as far as the LA Lakers are concerned, you know, Bruce Brown is the guy that's on our mind. Obviously, waiving these players with these big contracts that are not assets is also something that our team is doing right now. We're happy about it. I'm ready for the summer league. I'm ready to see guys. I want to see what Max Lewis can do. Demoy Hodge, Castleton, you know, Jalen, all these dudes. I want to see what they can do. If Fudge is going to be able to play in the summer league, perfect. I want to see what he can do. I am not at all certain that Fudge is not somebody that can't help us right away. I'm not certain of that. I know a lot of people are going to look at him and say, oh, he's an undrafted rookie. He's just got the body. But I'm telling you that the body sometimes can be enough if the guy has even a little bit of upside. If he has them long, stretchy arms, or like I was telling you about that thing that stands outside the used car lot that just waves like this, it can get you steals, it can get you blocks, it can get you easy buckets and offensive rebounds. Guy don't even have to be that talented. He just have to be there to catch the ball. And so I look at a guy like Fudge and say, with the athleticism he has, I ain't certain he can't help us. I ain't certain he ain't crazy good. I ain't certain that he can't be a high-impact rookie. I'm not certain of that. Anybody I see with a body like that, I think it's possible they could do something to help us right now. So the Lakers are going to bring him along slow, and I support every bit of that. But I want to study people like this. I don't want to just assume they can't help us just because he's got a certain... No. Make dang sure that he can't help you right now, because that's what we need, is someone who can help us right now. And I'm not certain. From what I saw, he is in easy buckets in transition for second and third units. That's what I think he can give you right away. He gonna catch lobs right away. He gonna dunk the ball right away. You know what I mean? So those are the type of things I'm looking at Alex Fudge. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if he has a role at the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised. Stranger things have happened. So that's what I want to say, man. Our scouts are really good, and Alex Fudge is really long. He's a tall and long type of guy. And, you know, you want to see those players develop properly, and you want to get the most out of them. And you don't want to just stick them in the G League just because it's just written that they're supposed to be there. Make damn sure they're supposed to be there. Because as I always say, some of the teams that are going to be beating you are full of young players, 22 and 23 years old. This ain't yesterday. You ain't going to be just running into vets. Some of them vets are going to be off the floor, and it's going to be the Amen Thompsons and the Asur Thompsons that are going to be running the show against some of these teams. And I'm telling you, Wembanyama, it's his first year. He's going to likely be one of the best players, all of that type of stuff. It's just the overall field is not necessarily getting older. It's getting younger, so to speak, with more influx of more impactful rookies every season coming in, more and more by the droves. And so I think the overall expectancy for some of these teams is going to be younger just in general. Some of these teams, the average is like 28. I think it's going to start being like 26 soon. So that's just what I'm saying, man. Don't be so certain that some of your rookies aren't going to be at the same level as some of the guys are going to be coming at you, because they may be. So yeah, that's my thought right now. There's something else involving the Lakers. I just don't remember what the heck it was, man. That's what's bothering me. I know there's something else, but I just can't seem to remember what it is. I know our team is going to do everything it can to make sure that we're not only prepared for Summer League, but also doing what we got to do in the free agent market tomorrow, getting all these different things done that ultimately are going to open up that cap space that we need to be able to make the trade that we ultimately want to make. You know, with all this talk about Kyrie Irving going to the Suns, I just feel like if he wants to take a pay cut, the Lakers are freeing up that money right now. They could free it up if they let these two guys go, Bamba and of course Beasley, and they can free up even more money if they move D'Lo the right way. However that works, you got to move D'Lo for assets that don't bring back any salary, and bring back futures and stuff like that if possible. Move all that salary to another team and have those two teams dealing with the salary. That's impossible. That doesn't even seem possible. But with D'Lo's value, you may be able to make it possible. That's what I'm saying to you. So, yeah, that's the type of thing I'm thinking about, you guys. I'm getting a phone call that I should likely answer, so I'm going to go ahead and handle that. My name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.